So Damian Lillard is reportedly very open to the idea of joining the Boston Celtics. Of course, this is the same Dame who made it clear a couple of years ago that Boston was not his vibe when Portland was shopping him supposedly to the Miami Heat, ended up trading him to the Milwaukee Bucks. But now, according to Gary Washburn from the Boston Globe, Danny, the change is all about his relationship now with Jason Tatum. Of course, they played together Team USA. Now, with both guys recovering from the same brutal injury, we got a lot in common. And there's a sense coming from Boston that not only are they friends, but they'd rehab together, run it back, say if Boston wanted to sign Damian Lillard to like a 2-year veteran minimum contract. If Dame was open to that, we don't know if he just wants to sign for the veterans minimum or if he's going to be asking teams for 10, 15 million. Who's willing to pay that? All kinds of questions about that still remain in the air. Mm-hmm. But the Celtics at this point, they're not the top team, Danny, but they are on the radar of Damian Lillard.
I mean, I've talked to Dame about it over the last couple of days, and he says it's going to be a process.
Yeah.
And nothing's being decided. He's got the opportunity to, no matter what happens, he's rehabbing at home.
Okay.
He's rehabbing here where he's around his kids and he's around his family.
And the Bucks said no to that, right? Initially. Are we firm on that report?
I don't know how much I buy that.
Okay.
I don't think that was ever going to be a problem.
Gotcha.
Why
say no to your superstar? That just doesn't make sense.
When you have an injury that is that long, it is pretty much SOP to go home. Wherever home is. Like Rob went back to Texas and chilled with his knee, and he would come back up here and get his check-ins and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I'm very familiar with devastating injuries, and you just want to do your thing. And it's when you talk, for me in the military side of things, it was, even though my guys are there, I'm not a part of it. And when you're not a part of it, you're not a part of the team. You're not a part of the unit. And it's the same thing in sports.
Of course.
Even though you're on the roster and those guys love you and you're still one of them, you're not one of them.
You're not fighting the battle every day. It's different.
And it's different. And so it's a lot easier for you mentally, emotionally, and then translating physically to just be in your comfort zone, be surrounded by people who care and support you and, and encouraging you. And look, Dame told me that, because I was giving him hell about his leg atrophying and getting skinny. Because that's typically what happens when you have a devastating leg injury. You get immobilized, you get put in a boot, and it just turns into a toothpick.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not happened to me, dog. He goes, I got cleared 10 days after my surgery from the doctors to start rehab. And I'm like, all right, dude, you absolute psychopath.
Dame is a dog.
He's a lunatic. If you just go look at his IG and what he's doing right now down at the Lion's Den.
And that actually leads me to my next question, Danny, is obviously Damian Lillard has the expectations that he can still start. He's going to try to come back. He knows he's not going to be the same player he was at 29.
He doesn't know that.
But he still thinks that he can offer near that production, right? So he truly believes he actually could.
Oh, no, he does.
I love that.
Well, that's what makes him him.
And I'm not saying that that's guaranteed, but it just seems like from the NBA circles, it's already kind of being...
He thinks he's going to be back by All-Star break because he's insane.
Well, but I guess I'm wondering if anybody thinks that, A, are they going to take him seriously when he says that, and B,
that's just how he's wired.
Are they going to give him the opportunity to start, or are NBA teams going to be like, hey, dude, no, we really want you as a role player?
Not even that. If I'm a team, I am not letting Damian Lillard play next year, no matter what.
For sure.
I'm not. It's not for his own sake, I'm not letting him.
Okay. It's just too much of a risk.
Kind
of like Kevin Pritchard's already said, Halliburton, he is not playing a single game next year. Don't worry. Don't try to even ask.
No, and that's the thing is, and Hallie's was a month later.
Exactly.
So it's it's not the risk part of it. I mean, it's risk, but it's also you just don't want to see anything happen to him because I don't want to say the reason, but I mean, it's the reason is that because he is who he is and how he's wired, he came back from the blood clot issue, which was leading to the calf strain. It was a complication of the calf strain.
Yeah.
And we've seen now there is a direct line you can draw from calf strain to ruptured Achilles. Somebody in the text line was asking, can you repair an Achilles after a calf strain? And you can.
Preemptively?
You can. But it's a surgery that they basically cut it and reattach it kind of a deal.
Oh, same thing.
It's basically the same kind of thing. I think I've mentioned this before with my hip surgeries. We discovered my hip injuries because I was treating an 80% bilateral tear in my Achilles in my right foot. And what ended up happening was my hips were so bad that my quads had pulled my calf, my quads and my IT band had moved over and put so much stress on my calf, on my soleus.
Oh my God.
That it was that my calf was pulling my Achilles over a bone spur in the back of my foot. And
your entire leg was just too tight.
Yeah, and the bone spur was acting basically like a knife, and it was sawing my Achilles over time. And like I said, it was an 80% bilateral tear, and so they couldn't figure out why, because there was no trauma that caused that to take place. But they were like, before we were doing hip surgery, we were going to repair that, and they were able to do some minor work and not have to do that.
Yeah,
and they basically told me like your Achilles is a ticking time bomb, is what they told me. It's gonna go. So how do you want to handle this?
Get it done, buddy.
But then we found the hip issue, and we were able to rectify the hip issue, and then we were able to rectify the Achilles a lot easier without a major invasive surgery that was going to take me a year to recover from, on top of the hip surgery. So there's stuff you can do, but it's also surgical. So, but yeah, with D, he I think he's going to take his time.
Okay.
I think he's going to find the best landing spot for him. For himself, for basketball, for his family, all of those things. And like, it's not a secret. Dame was not happy in Milwaukee because he's in Milwaukee. Like it's not a big city. It's not, a comfortable city. And I have nothing against the city of Milwaukee. If you've got friends or family, like it's totally fine. But like, he wanted Miami for a multitude of reasons. Number one, he was going to make a crap ton more money there because there's no income tax. It's Miami. It's his family stuff that he was going through. Like, a million different things that were going on there. He's going to find the right spot for him. Basketball-wise, I would love to see him in Houston.
Okay.
You replace, let's just say Dame gets back to 90% of what he was just this last year.
Replaces an expensive Van Fleet.
Not even expensive, because they $25 million because he's one of those guys, because of where they are in contention. They were able to get one of those few deals they were deciding.
He's more expensive. He's getting paid more than he's worth, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, but
okay.
I get what you're saying.
All right.
But if like all of a sudden you were putting Dame with Tari Eason and Jabari Smith Jr. And Amen Thompson and
with
Kevin
Sengun,
Durant and Sengun, you're just like, yeah, I couldn't think of really a better team to stick him with. Like if you have Dame and KD surrounded by otherworldly wings. Yeah, dog. You're cooking with gas.
Do you think that, I see the fit in Houston. Do you think in Boston, though, that would be another option as far as, Dame, I think he could probably look at 5 or 6 destinations and maybe see a path, like a Houston, like a Los Angeles, like a Boston, for instance, maybe even a Miami. But Boston has a championship in the last 2 years, and they've got really good scores already on the team. They're missing a Kristaps Porzingis. They're missing the big man presence now in the middle.
They're missing big men.
Exactly.
General. Al Horford's gone. Luke Cornett's gone.
But is that like the only thing that Boston can do, because Dame would be at a vet minimum? Boston literally can't afford anything at this moment.
You're talking about a trio of Dame, Derek White, and Jason Tatum. There would be no shortage of guys that want to play there. And you're getting Dame on a discount, so you're not paying like you were paying Drew $33 million.
Exactly.
Now you're paying Dame. Let's just say you're paying Dame
5.
Let's bump it up. Let's say the full MLE. See, $14 million.
Okay.
You can go get somebody else, and guys are going to go Dame, D. White, and Tatum. I'll go get a ring. I could see that happening. I would hate to see that. It's already nasty. The potential of seeing Ant playing in green. It's like, ugh. I don't want to see that.
I don't blame Dame, but I hear what you're saying.
But no, that would probably, if all things held the same, Ant and Pritchard are your 6 men kind of a deal. It's like offensively, they're set. If your backcourt is Dame, Ant, Pritchard, Derek White, and you've got one wing in Tatum, and Hauser's on a good deal. And
extremely intriguing.
You get a couple more wings, you get a couple of bigs, you could talk yourself into that in the East real quick.
Maybe it's just because my wife is from Boston, but I think that the Celtics would be the only other uniform I'd be okay with seeing Dame in. I know. A lot of people here are like, dude, get the hell out. Go back to Boston with your wife, you jerk.
Yeah, no, gross. I don't like it.
I get it, but I got to pick somewhere. And I hated Milwaukee last year. I would hate Miami even more. I don't want to see him to go to Golden State. Minnesota, to me, doesn't make much sense. I know some people have thrown that out there.
Dame and Ant.
In Boston.
Yeah.
Looks good, doesn't it? And he would look he would look decent in green. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, no, the last Blazers legend that went to Minnesota did not work out so well. Brandon Roy in that Timberwolves jersey does not exist to me. It's gross.
What are you talking about? I don't even know if that's. I forgot about that. But Damian Lillard has some interest in the Boston Celtics. We'll see. As Danny says, he's going to take his time to make up his mind, and it's going to be a very slow, thought-out process. We'll see if there's any more info about Dame signing in the next couple of months, honestly, because, heck, we could be waiting until mid-season, something like that, to hear about what Damian Lillard's going to do. But we know he's here. And we know he's in Portland rehabbing, and thank God that he has the keys to his next car. He can choose where he wants to go. He's definitely earned that. And I believe Blazers fans all agree with me on that point.